Welcome back. Speaking yesterday to Mamasa's students, Morobe Governor Kelly Naro challenged the students to think critically and rationally on the issues that have transpired. He said with the stiff rebuttal met, there were a number of options raised during that course of time that could have saved them from disrupting their studies. The current strike action taken on by the student body was seen as their rights on freedom of expression and is commendable. But the second phase of the strike action didn't go down well with the general public and local members. The aftermath of the turn of events saw millions of kina worth of properties destroyed and lives lost. Kevin Dayanga reports.
It was indeed a turbulent time in the higher institution sector. The matter taken up by the students have put themselves in an awkward position. The vibrant issue raised was met by a stiff rebuttal. The student body picked up the issue, and through the course of all this, it has created an environment and atmosphere where people took it up as tribal and cultural issue. Governor Naru, speaking to the stranded Momasi students yesterday, said the best approach and the very best preparations given towards this issue didn't work.
If you appreciate the line of reasoning and the rationale and logic that has driven you up to this far, you will see that you are pursuing justice.
While the freedom of expression under Section 45 of the Constitution was commendable, when the students picked up the issue well in petition to the Prime Minister, Governor Naru said the latter half of managing the issue didn't go down well with both parties.
The right to freedom of expression is a qualified right under the Constitution. You are given the right to freely express your views and opinions. But at the same time, that right and freedom that you have obliges you to ensure that in the exercise of that right and freedom, you do not unnecessarily interfere with, violate, and infringe on the rights of other citizens who are also empowered and entitled to exercise the same rights and freedoms that the law gives to all of us.
In the meantime, he challenged the students to think critically and rationally on the issues that had transpired during the strike action. He says so much money has been spent in tuition fees among other expenses.
You are answerable to your sponsors. We wasted so much money on kids coming to learn. Now all that money is going down the drain. Now you may come give him big heavy can long, but you may start him with a life blow, you may go back.
Kevin Dayanga, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
The signing of a joint venture agreement between Kumul Consolidated Holdings and Innovative Agro-Industry Limited was announced yesterday to develop the Sepik Plains agriculture. The announcement was made by Minister for Public Enterprise and State Investments, William Duma. Esther Balinwani reports.
The signing of the joint venture agreement between the Kumul Consolidated Holdings and Innovative Agro-Industry is to develop the Sepik Plains agriculture. It is located in the Yanguru South Sea district of Sepik province and is situated in the Sepik Plains Special Economic Zone. The joint venture between the Kumul Consolidated Holdings and Innovative Agro-Industry will be a pioneer venture based on chicken production, commercial cocoa plantation, and grain production. It is intended that the venture will cater for the needs of the local market and supply meat and eggs throughout the province and the country. A subsidiary of Kumul Consolidated Holdings, called Kumul Agriculture Limited, will be established to manage the office. Minister William Duma said the venture is expected to create some 235 direct jobs in a state-of-art facility. The project is co-sponsored by Minister for Public Enterprise and State Investments, William Duma, and Minister for Trade, Commerce and Industry, Richard Maru. Esther Balinwani, NBC National News, Port Moresby.
Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has spoken defiantly to crowds of jubilant supporters in Istanbul vying to stay in power hours after an army faction dramatically tried to topple the government. Erdogan's arrival in Istanbul from the coastal city of Marmaris came after Prime Minister Binali Yildirim told broadcaster NTV on Saturday that the situation in the country was largely under control. At least 60 people were killed across Turkey during the coup attempt. Speaking at a news conference, Erdogan said the attempt to push him from power was an act of treason and that those behind the plot would pay a heavy price. He said he would stay with his people and not go anywhere.
Forced to surrender, an attempted military coup in Turkey has failed. A defiant President Recep Tayyip Erdogan has addressed crowds of supporters in Istanbul.
The government that has been elected by the people, by the will of the people, is in power.
And he appeared to place the blame for the coup on Muslim cleric Fethullah Gulen, who's based in the US state of Pennsylvania. He accuses Gulen of being behind much of the unrest in Turkey.
Your betrayal of this nation, your betrayal of these believers is enough. Enough of stirring up this country from where you are.
For a few shocking hours, Turkey appeared to be in the grip of the military. Army vehicles lined the bridge over the Bosphorus Strait. Shots rang out as crowds tried to cross over. Helicopters flew overhead. Reports said one of them was shot down by a Turkish fighter jet. The studios of Turkish broadcaster TRT were stormed. A news presenter was forced to read a statement saying the military had taken over the country. A few hours later, she said she'd been held at gunpoint, along with other TRT staff who were taken hostage. People gathered in Taksim Square in Istanbul, some carrying flags to demonstrate against the coup. Jet aircraft flew low overhead. The former Turkish Prime Minister Ahmet Davutoglu spoke to Al Jazeera and described the attempted coup as a failed attack on democracy.
First of all, this is a coup d'etat attempt against the legitimate parliament, the legitimate government and president. Turkey is a democracy. Turkey has a long democratic tradition, and in this tradition, latest on 1st November 2015, there was a clear democratic process of election, and the existing parliament was formed this election. So there is no question of legitimacy in Turkey.
Shortly after dawn in Istanbul, some of those behind the coup were forced to accept their dreams of seizing control of Turkey were over.
Stay with us on NBC National News.